G'day and welcome back to that new hobby high. Okay, so today I figured we'll just have a bit of a rant, not a rant, that's a terrible word. Have a bit of a chat while I'm working here on some of the things that I've found while I've been making these. First off, I'll start off with the brilliant bits. All right. First off, I have found this hobby to be entirely enjoyable. At least the painting aspect of it so far. I haven't had a lot of game time, obviously, but the painting aspect, the detail of the miniatures, the story and lore behind it are exceptional, and and just generally everyone, even the people at the clubs, the people who take the time to answer my questions and communicate me while I do this little spiel. It's just wonderful. I reckon this is absolutely a brilliant hobby, and it's the people that seem to make this amazing. Like I said, I'm in it for the painting right now, but I do want to get into the oh shit, made a fuck up, broke his head off. I'll fix that up. In it for the painting, but I would like to get into the gaming aspect of it. But I do have a few questions. I just recently watched a video from the Outer Circle, and he seemed to think that this version of this game was not so plush. It was not so good. He seemed to be very upset with with some of the reactions that inside the game, and a lot of the well, he considered them poorly written rules. Now, like I said, I've not played this game very often, and played it once, to be honest, but I do enjoy the painting of it. He says that I'm listening to it and I'm hearing him talk about the community suffering, and that it's not as big as it was in version 1 due to unbalanced gameplay and general bad writing on behalf of the rules makers. I was just curious if this is something that everyone else has found, and perhaps I should just learn to enjoy this for the painting, or is this is this not true? Personally, so far as the paint's concerned, this hobby's got me sold. So along the same lines as the lore, it's just phenomenal. I love reading it. Oh, bloody hell! So I'm sitting there and I had a bath, first bath I've had in a yonk. Usually have showers, but thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to sit back and relax. I'm going to have a nice long bath, and I'm going to read this book. This No Fear. I'm just going to polish it off. I'm just going to read the book, have a grand old time of it. Take me time, chill. I had like a little cooler. I had 6 beers there. I was going to sit there and enjoy my book. Just relax. Have a little me time, I think is the term. Anyway, settling in to the bath, freaking having a great time, just relaxing, enjoying the heat, enjoying the warmth. Pick up the book. Slip. I go badly into the water. Water splashes up. Soap in my eyes. I reach for my eyes. I drop the book. The book is ruined. In the water, sunk like a brick, completely waterlogged, unable to finish it. So I have aside from that small drama, I have a new book to purchase. Well, the same book to purchase, and get started again. But it's given me a bit of time to maybe dial back and actually concentrate on maybe the main storyline. I'm only a couple of chapters away from the flight of the Eisenstein final bits. Royal Dawn is a bit of a dick. Is he not? Is he not? I don't know. Just yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I'm enjoying it. I have some other news too. Like this is only a couple of days after my last video, so I'm just finishing off these ones here, just touching up some highlights, which is all nice. Yeah, just like I'm home, and babe's at daycare, wife's at work. I got like maybe 40 minutes to myself just to punch out some small details and get them, get the little, the dots, the highlights, just make them pop a little before I ink them. I always feel slightly sad when I do the dirty washes on them, because I always thought a dirty miniature was a badly painted miniature. But to make them look good while dirty, they've got to have some amount of skill into actually making them look. This is how they look pre being all gutsed up and dirtified. So they actually, I could have filtered them quite nicely and quite happily as they were, just as clean Marines, clean Ultramarines. But I really do feel, looking at these and then looking at the other ones, that the dirty ones have a little bit more, have more story behind them. They have a bit more class. They have a bit more drama. And you probably, I think it just comes across as, a better type of, it's not a clean miniature that's just come out of the story, straight out of a fairy tale book. Fairy tale in 30k. That's a joke. They have a bit of grime and grit to them. They have, they've lived a part of a tale, which like I said, I really like the painting aspect of this game, this hobby. It's it's a lot different from doing a model aircraft or a proper model tank. I find it bugs me, the tanks. The method that everyone seems to be doing with the tanks is these goofy fucking heavy line highlights. Like, all right, let me just quickly bash out a piece. This, say this panel here, all right? All these big goofy line highlights, and they're all, makes everything look so cartoonish. And cartoons are good in their way, but if you're going for realism, how real do you really want it to be, or do you want it to? The setting is comical. I think that's the general gist of it. The setting is comical, but does it have to look comical? It's not to be taken seriously. I don't think anyone would take something as horrible as that seriously. But if you have a look at that, those grey highlights, obviously this isn't finished, but those grey highlights, do you think that looks slightly, the whole tank's done like that. It looks slightly comical. It's compared for the realism I'm going for. Well, realism. Compared to the look I'm going for with the rest of it, I think it stands out as being just not as realistic as the rest. But I am enjoying it. But yeah, I would love to hear if anyone thinks that the newest version of Horus Heresy to play, is it unbalanced? Is it unfun? Are people not playing because the rule writing is poor, or is it actually part of the game is adapting to different rules, and the new game must be learnt and learnt and played as a new game, not as a continuation of the old game. Anyway, I highly recommend you go have a look at Outer Circle's latest 2 vids. It's like, I think they're called a 6 months introspective on the Horus Heresy and the State of Play. He's another Australian fella. He really does seem to know his gear. Like he says in the video a couple of times, he's played for 30 odd years, one way or another. And yeah, he sounds impassioned and he sounds pleadful. And yeah, I'd like to know if the general consensus is he correct? Yeah, but yeah, other than that, what else has happened? Okay, I have some minor news. I had a little delivery from Forgewell the other day, and now I have some, well, I wouldn't exactly call it great news because it wasn't what I expected. So we'll start off with, let me just wash that up. I just got a bit of bog paper over here. Those three, right. So I got my Moritat, and if you have a look at them, almost every model from Forge World, they all must be suffering from that sweaty ball stuff that Major Kill is always trying to hawk. You know, maybe that'll be a good business in the world of 40k because everyone's got their leg up trying to air up their agates. Anyway, I got this Moritat. Now I can actually see how it's spelt. And here it is. He was standing there and he has his foot up on a bit of blocky crap, as you can see there. It just looks genuinely, you know, there's no need for it. So he also came with a very cool like jetpack, but I'm not going to give that to him because I want to use that on something else for later. So, and I don't want to use his little tactical rock, as I think Kirioth calls it. So, what I've done is I've puttied up his feet. Same sort of, I don't know if you can see that very well, all right? I haven't got a backpack yet, but I will. I've given him these studded pauldrons because I said previously I've got one of the previous tacticals. Studded pauldrons just make him look wide and chunky. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount him at a forward run because I'll carve that toe up a bit and bend it. So I'm actually going to mount him so he's actually running. Come on. You know, that's the terrible thing about having a cheap-ass phone is that you cannot do focusing well. I want to mount him like he's running instead of like standing there all prideful with his freaking balls itching and freaking in a jetpack. I think he's got a dynamic enough pose to look like he's running, especially, you know, I had to redo the webbing on his feet, so he looks like he's going forward. But as resin goes, I assume this is quite an old model because the resin is quite greasy. I had to wash it down with soap a few times and a toothbrush. If you are doing hobbying, buy yourself an electric toothbrush to clean your bits. It's just well worth the investment. And a lot of cleaning up on this one, but I think he'll look all right when he's all done. But yeah, so that's the Moritat. And he is going to get the same sort of treatment as my chaplain fella over here. Now here are the other two, suffering from the same willy itch, which is what I'll call it. These are the two Apothecaries. And look, once again, standing on crap. These ones I like a little bit better because they actually look like rubble, so they could be part of that Andronicus spaceship that crashed to Earth or crashed onto Calth, and, you know, rubble and wreckage everywhere. So these ones I'm quite happy to accept. Had to do a bit of doctorizing with these. One of the first things I fixed up, because it was absolutely ridiculous, is carve off all the little skulls. There are skulls everywhere on these things. If you were a doctor, would you go to a doctor that had, oh, don't you worry, I'm here to look after you, fella. Check out my awesome death tattoo, you know. So I carved them all off because they look ridiculous and they're nice and smooth now. Get them all, and I'll paint, maybe even put an Ultramarines transfer there. The other thing is the stitching. They had a little like a helixical image on the cloth with a skull on top, which is like the symbol of their you know, being an apocryphy. Well, being on a cloth, it would be embroidered and it wouldn't stand proud. So I've carved both of those off as well. Backpacks aren't assembled because there's too much detail in the back here to capture. But I'll tell you what, seeing that we haven't got any assault squads, I had to think long and hard about giving them these sword arms. I mean, and not carving off these arms completely and just having the sword there. Carving that off for future use. But I figure might as well have two. Get them up and going. I did actually printed out the colour scheme, and they're a little bit different from the rest. They're white arms, white stripe down the helmet, and blue chest and upper legs and upper arms. So I'll make sure I'll keep that continuity going with these Apothecaries. I've got these lovely little ammo belts which go on the Moritat. Right. Now, I don't know if any of you have worked with resin before, but it's not a very, it's got some flex to it, but, you know, any real pressure to that and it'll bend. The easiest way to get this into shape, I don't know, I won't make a video of it, but it's to actually immerse it in just like 70-degree water. And after a minute, it gets very elastic and you can shape it. I wouldn't try gluing it, but you can shape it into a roundabout the right way you want it to flow. And then ice water, shape, hot water, shape, ice water, hot water, shape, ice water. And you will get it into a very nice fixed position. And it will actually become nice and rigid when you're done. Haven't done that yet because I'm still working for it. There is one drama, however. Now, it's these. I don't know if you see that. Cataphracti Power Axes upgrade set. Now, when you hear Power Axe, I was thinking Power Axe is like the power swords, a proper edge. But if you have a look, that's a chain axe. I bought 2 packets of chain axes. So, and Ultramarines aren't able to fit chain axes, so I'm at kind of a loss of what to do. I can either use some green stuff and fill in those teeth and try to make it look like a power blade. I can buy the ones that do have the power blade, which are on the Tartarus arms. That's another 2 packets. Or, ultimately, I can sever the head here, right? And then I'll get some square and round styrene, build that up, and I'll turn these into single thunder hammers, single-handed thunder hammers. Have not decided, but ultimately the fact that they're not proper blades has put the Formantaris on back order again, which is why I put together the 2 Apothecaries, the Moritat, that, and these are getting finished off. So yeah, I haven't got anything else but what's on the table coming in at the moment. I got you know, some small bits and pieces, but nothing like a full squad. So I am still working towards finishing this off. Let me think now. What else has happened recently? Okay, I was looking through the rulebook, and I have also come up with one more question for the more learned of the watchers and players out there. How many character units can you assign to a troop or a squad? And because I've looked through character in the rulebook, I've looked through squad, I've looked through troop. I can't find a specific number to say how many you can attach. I can't find a specific rule. I can't find a page number. I can't find anything. The reason I ask is if I had a squad of normal or something close combat, right? And I attached the chaplain who would give them that +1 to hit on the first round of combat. Right, or the re-rolls in the first round of combat. But I also attached a champion to the exact same unit And once he was in combat, it would give the squad fearless as well. Now, can you stack buffs via Legion champions onto a squad by simply throwing, and then then if you add a bloody Apothecary to it, you get a +5 save. So you got three separate single man units attached to one squad. You reroll, and it would effectively reroll first round of close combat, give them fearless, and you get a +5 save. Is that something you can do? Because that seems like you could make, with a substantial points investment, you could make quite a devastating little squad there. I'm not really sure. I can't find a rule page to say yes or no. Just have a little sip of Milo because my voice is a bit raw. But yeah, just a thought. Anyway, still enjoying painting, still loving it. This paint is drying up. Yeah, look, use this when your paint dries up. It starts to get too tacky to use. It is an absolute gem. Like I said, I've been told to try a wet palette, but if you got one bit of kit, use it. It's really, 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 really good. And for your thinner, this is the Tamiya thinner, right? But if you know what Tamiya thinner is, it's basically ethanol, right? And it is a very nice acrylic thinner. You can reuse your earbuds too, because it just evaporates off. So you end up with a nice thin paint that does not dry out. It takes a lot longer, so you got to watch out for smudging. Make sure you're very, very careful with it. But it's a good little tip to have, and it'll keep your paint. It'll keep one drop of paint going for about 2 hours. Just that little method. Anyway, I'm going to get back to highlighting these and dirtying them up, and then get cracking on them. And then I'm going to spend a bit of time, because Christmas and there's almost no deliveries. I might just make, instead of a squad of 10 Fulmentaris, I might just make a unit of 5 plebs. Let me know in the description whether you think they should have chain fists, a single lightning claw, or the power fist. Because currently I don't have any. I've got 3 power swords I've managed to source. Very hard to buy on eBay, mind you. Very hard to buy. Try looking. It's freaking absolute pain in the ass. You actually got to know people who've bought the box and actively decided not to give their sergeants the power sword. But I've sourced another 3, but they're not here yet. So if I was going to make a normal squad of 5, well, let me know. Let me know what you would suggest I should put down as the arms. And I've already got enough. I've got enough shooting, so I need something that's possibly anti-infantry. And I don't. And that's got to be literally out of the selection out of the Age of Darkness box. Also, if you do know, let me know about that bloody rule on how many attachments can I link to a squad. And let me know if you think that the current rule set of Horus Heresy is not as much fun as the previous one, or if the community is suffering. So far, like I said, I've only had one game, and I enjoy the painting aspect of it. But it seems to me, when I went to Beyond Odyssey in Perth here, in Western Australia, that there seemed to be a thriving community, and no one was complaining too much about it. But I haven't been there in a while, because I've been looking after baby Christmas this. Anyway, love the lot of you. Take care of yourselves. Go kiss your kids. Phone your mother. Give your wife a tickle. And you all take care of yourselves. And I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra.